Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Devin and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my first prenatal visit at my OBGYN for my pregnancy. So if you're new here, my name is Devin and I am pregnant with my first baby. I am so excited. Today I am like 9 weeks and 5 days pregnant, I believe. And my appointment was just a few days ago. I was 9 weeks and 2 days during my visit. So up until that point, I had not seen a doctor or anything to definitely confirm the pregnancy. I just had 3 positive pregnancy tests and a lot of symptoms. So I was really excited about this appointment, and I want to go ahead and just share with you guys my experience and essentially what to expect for your first prenatal visit at your OBGYN when you are pregnant. I also have a little footage of the sonogram that we received as well as some photos, so I'll go ahead and share that with you guys. So if you want to hear about my first visit, then just keep watching. So first thing is, as soon as I found out that I was pregnant, I made sure to call my OB to try and get my appointment scheduled. Now my OB likes to see you when you are at least 8 weeks pregnant. I also had a trip with my husband. We did a little road trip to like Grand Canyon and a couple of national parks like Zion and Bryce Canyon. And so we had that scheduled even before I was pregnant. And so the first available appointment that they had was like the second to last day of that trip, and we really could not have switched that because it had been planned for quite some time and everything was scheduled out, the tickets and hotel, etc. So we couldn't do that appointment. So the next available appointment was the appointment that we took, and that was December 29th. So it was a bit of a bummer because I wanted to try and see them before Christmas so I could feel better about telling my family, but I still told my family, and I'm so glad that I did because everybody was able to be together. It was just a really special moment for me. So I still ended up telling them, and so our appointment was on December 29th. So still in the thicket of COVID, but I'm very lucky that my OB allows this spouse to be in the room with you during all of the sonograms, which I know that to not be the case for a lot of other OBs, even in my area. So I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas, and a lot of OBs that I called did not allow husbands to be in the room. I think at the very minimum, they would maybe allow them for like the 20-week anatomy scan. But other than that, it would just be at birth. So I was so happy when I found out that my OB would allow my husband to be in there. So that was the most special thing, to have him be there with me. So we went, it was a morning appointment, and at my OB, because of COVID, the spouse would have to stay out, not even in the main waiting room, but like in the hallway, which was very interesting. So I filled out all my paperwork, and then they called me for my sonogram. So when they called me for my sonogram, because that was the first thing, then I was able to call my husband in to join me. And this is how our appointment started off, was going straight to the sonogram. So I had never gotten a sonogram before, but I've seen a lot of movies, watched a lot of YouTube videos, and so I felt like, I know what to expect. So they take you to this room in the back. It's dark, which I was like, oh, okay, I like that. It's a little bit more dim. And then they asked my husband to be in the corner. They're like, okay, so go ahead, go behind there and take your pants off. And I'm like, what? Like in my mind, I'm like, what do you mean take my pants off? I thought they just like squirt out like the jelly stuff and like put the sonogram on your stomach. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, maybe they just need to get down low and I need to take my pants off. So I took my bottom half off, so I was able to keep everything on top on. And they gave me like a little, medical sheet type of thing. And they had me lay down and sort of spread eagle type of a situation, almost like I was about to give birth. And I was so confused, almost like I was about to get like a cervical exam or pap smear or something. And yeah, so she said this is a vaginal sonogram. So I did not know that was a thing. So if you did not know, vaginal sonograms are a thing. And I was not expecting it, but it's totally fine. It was not painful. It wasn't uncomfortable. It was just a little shocking at first when I was like, oh, that's what we're doing. So I didn't even look at necessarily the device that she put in me, but she put like some sort of like lubricant type of situation on it and then stuck it inside that area. And they had a TV screen, right? So she had a monitor in front of her because she was looking towards me, and then my husband and I were facing towards a wall that had a TV screen with the same image. So as soon as she put it in there, it was like clear as day. Baby was right there, and it was like the most like shocking thing ever. So again, this is my first pregnancy, and just to finally see a baby inside of me was like the most crazy thing ever. Like, I can't even tell you. I just was like laying there and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a baby. What the heck? It was like the weirdest thing. So it was so exciting. I was like, oh my god, there's a baby there. Of course, I didn't want to get too excited because I wanted to like hear about the heartbeat and stuff, and all that stuff. But anyway, so what I'm going to do now, this is when my husband started to take a video, and he started to film just the monitor. So you're not going to see me or anything else, but it's like he started filming as soon as she put it inside of me and we saw the baby. That's when he would record. So I'll go ahead and insert that footage now.
I'm going to measure from, this is the bottom down here, up to the top of the head. And you're measuring 9 weeks, 3 days, so pretty much on with the date you gave me. Trace the baby's heartbeat. We can't hear it today, it's a little too early, but I'll tell you how fast it is. Oh, okay. 174 beats per minute. Is that normal? Uh-huh. Legs here. These are arms right here. Oh my gosh. Little hands sticking out right there. Oh, that's so crazy. So everything looks good. Oh, it's wiggling. It's wiggling? Oh my gosh. His arms moving. Oh my gosh. They kind of cycle through while they're like, yeah, flail around for a little bit and then be still. Oh my gosh. Right.
So yeah, that is the baby inside of me. I could not believe it. It just looked like a real baby. I was just expecting like a blob type of thing, but you can actually see the head and the arms and the legs. And if you guys noticed at the end, the baby even did like a little dance, a wiggle for us, which was so cool to see it move. It was just like a special thing. I don't know if y'all can hear me. I was getting a little choked up, like I didn't like sob or anything, but I definitely was getting like teary-eyed, and I just couldn't believe it when she said, there are their hands and there are their legs. I was just, it was just so like surreal. And when it wiggled, it just made me so happy that I just, you know, shed a couple tears of joy. I was just so excited. And I could tell my husband when I was looking over at him, he just had like a big smile. He was just so happy. So it was just so weird. I could not believe it. So as you guys can see, we were not able to hear the heartbeat, but she was able to measure it, and it was measuring normal, the amount of heartbeats per minute or whatever, and then the actual baby was measuring the normal size as well, and measuring right on par with where I'd expected, like 9 weeks, 3 days, I think is what she said. 9 weeks, 2 days is what I thought. So yeah, everything looked great. It was super quick. She took it out of me and we were done. So that was the end of the footage that you saw there. So she gave us some photos. So I probably had some in the thumbnail. But these are the sonogram photos that we have. So we got 6 of them, and it's so special to us to have all of these here. I just could not stop staring at them after it had all happened. And I immediately sent a photo of this to a bunch of family members. So the person who did my sonogram was so nice and sweet and very to the point. So yeah, it was really great. We both did have to wear masks the whole time, which was totally fine. But after that, then we went back outside to the waiting area. My husband had to go back into the hall. They had like a little bench there, and that's where my husband stayed for the rest of the time. So then I waited a few more minutes and was called back in by a nurse or an assistant of some sort. They took me back, and she took my heart rate. She also got a urine sample, and I'm not really sure what they do with that. I'm guessing to confirm my HCG levels maybe. And then they got my weight and my height. And after that, then I went into an actual room where they asked me to completely change into a gown and like a sheet because I was due for a pap smear. So you may be up to date and you may not have to do that part, but that's what we did. So then I waited, and then I had my doctor come in. I love my doctor. She actually was my OB for like right before I got married, when I was asking about birth control options and stuff, and then for the next few years of our marriage as well. So I'm super happy that I get to be here because she's so nice. She's so nurturing, informative, and empathetic. It's just like, I love her. She is so great. So yeah, I'm just like super blessed that I have her. So we talked a bit, we caught up, and she did a pap smear. So nothing unusual there. She did like a normal woman's annual exam of like, the breast area, just looking around. And then she then went over with me sort of like what to expect for my pregnancy care going forward, some of the additional appointments that would be happening in the future, how often she'd be seeing me, and also went over the do's and the don'ts of pregnancy. So a lot of things that you'll read about, you'll see on pregnancy apps, read in books, have other people tell you about. So things like, she said it's fine to have a couple cups of coffee a day, even though I've just sort of cut it out completely because it just is a food aversion for me right now. And she said things like, tuna, only have it once a week, which is good to know. Just certain stuff to avoid in pregnancy, like hot tubs and saunas and unpasteurized soft cheeses, all the normal pregnancy things. So we went over that laundry list. She talked about my next appointment, which is in less than 3 weeks now. That was 3 weeks from my original appointment. And we're going to be doing some blood tests for genetic testing. We also apparently from that test can find out the gender of the baby, which I did not realize. I thought that I'd have to wait till my 20-week anatomy scan. So, and this is like them actually taking the blood. It's not like a sneak peek where I do anything at home. This is like super formal, and it's apparently very accurate. That is our next appointment. I will make sure to do a video like this about that as well. But that basically was it. She just talked to me all about that stuff. She said that I look healthy and that the sonogram looked great. Baby's just looking healthy so far. She said all my prenatals that I'm taking are awesome. So yeah, after she went over all that good stuff, then I went over to another room and they took a few vials of blood to send it off for like testing on, HIV and stuff like that. So it didn't hurt. I just don't like to lick the needle. So I was sort of just like looking away like this. But the person was super nice. I think they took like 2 or 3 vials of blood. And then I was on my way to go meet my husband, and we left. We celebrated with Chick-fil-A. Just because everything was so great and we love Chick-fil-A. So that's how we celebrated that day. And it was just an awesome day. So that was my first prenatal visit and should hopefully help you on what to expect for your first visit as well. I know each office and OB is different, but I think generally that is what you should be able to expect. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.